Juno was released in 2007. It was directed by Jason Reitman and stars Ellen Page as our title character, Juno McGuff, Michael Cera as Polly Bleecker, the one who impregnates Juno, Jason Bateman and Jennifer Garner as the future adoptive parents, and J.K. Simmonds and Allison Janey as Juno's parents. It tells the story of an unexpected pregnancy. Juno McGuff finds out she's been impregnated by Polly Bleecker, and while searching for adoptive parents, she comes across Mark and Vanessa. There's a lot more to Juno, but that's just the basic storyline. If you watch my top 100 favorite films list, you would have seen that Juno landed a spot in the top 50. I've seen the film 3 times now. The first time was at a resort that we were at, that we go to every year besides this year, and they had this like big collection, this library I'll say, of DVDs, and my parents were like, oh, go watch Juno, you'll like it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, because I didn't really know much about it besides Michael Cera was in it. And then I ended up loving it. I watched it back in March and last night with my mom, and she just was like, hey, do you want to watch Juno again? I'm like, of course I would, because I love Juno. And yeah, I've seen the film 3 times now, and every time it just climbs and climbs and climbs on my favorites list. Juno is a very special film for me, mainly because the 2 leads are Canadian and the director. Ellen Page is from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Michael Cera is from Brampton, Ontario, I'm from Ontario, and Jason Reitman, the director, is from Montreal, Quebec. Great fishing in Quebec.
Great fishing in Quebec.
And it means a lot to me, someone being from a small town in Ontario, that a bunch of these Canadians, now obviously Ellen Page, Michael Cera, they're very big names, and even Jason Reitman, they're pretty big names, and it just means a lot that these Canadians can come together and make such a great film. When talking about 2007 for movies, people normally talk about No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, Ratatouille. But they really don't talk about Juno, and I never understand that. My favorite film of 2007 is still Zodiac, but Juno is actually right behind it. I do prefer it to those movies, and I know technically There Will Be Blood has better performances, better whatever, blah 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 blah, but I personally enjoy Juno more. You might be asking, what makes Juno so great? Honestly, it's just one of those films where everything was perfectly executed. I'm not even kidding, I consider this a perfect film. I'll talk about how fantastic Ellen Page is as Juno a bit later because I need more time for that. In the same year, Michael Cera did Juno and Superbad, and I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion. I love Superbad so much, it's one of the best comedies of all time, but I actually prefer Juno. He and Jason Bateman had also been on Arrested Development together for years, I think since 2003 I'll say. I'll check and put it right there, but yeah. He nails the awkward teenage boy once again, and Jason Reitman balances the tone of this one very well. I've seen Tully, which came out in 2018. Wasn't a fan of that one. Maybe this guy, the director, has a thing for pregnancy, but I wasn't a fan of Tully at all. But in Juno, he balances these laugh-out-loud moments with these bittersweet, more emotional scenes, and it's flawless. Even in those touching scenes like the hospital scene at the end where they're laying in the bed, he leaves Bleeker's cleats on to provide a small laugh. It's little details like that that make Juno so great. Diablo Cody's Oscar-winning script is another one of the reasons this one works so well. I think it really comes down to Ellen Page and the script. The dialogue is fresh and quirky, and the actual character of Juno reminds me of a few of my friends kind of mixed into one, while talking a little bit different, because the way just that Juno talks is just so funny and entertaining. Every character feels so fleshed out and real, and here's 2 examples of that. Bleecker is a good kid, and earlier on we see him offer Juno his science notes, and he's kind of looking at school stuff throughout the film, but he can't tell his mom that he impregnated Juno because his mom says,
"You know how I feel about her."
So it provides a little bit of conflict within his character. Also, Mark is rich and seems happy. He does music for commercials, but later on we see him decide to divorce his wife, played by Jennifer Garner, and we see how they're in different stages of their life. Obviously, Jennifer Garner is ready to have a baby because they can't, so adopt a baby, but Jason Bateman says he still wants to do some things before that, and we see how they look like a great couple. They have those weird pictures all along the wall of the stairs, but there's still conflict within them because Jennifer Garner kind of mocks him with his music. She mentions Kurt Cobain once, and it provides some great conflict within these characters. These are just two examples of these characters, and I really love how they're all so fleshed out. I could talk about all the performances, of course. I mean, I talked about Michael Cera nailing the awkward teenage boy. Jason Bateman's fantastic once again. I mean, he's probably one of the best people working today for acting and directing. Jennifer Garner is great once again. J.K. Simmonds is laugh out loud hilarious in so many moments.
And I'm gonna punch that Bleecker kid in the wiener next time I see him.
And Allison Janey is great again. She has that fantastic scene with the ultrasound technician. It's awesome. Everyone is great here, including Juno's best friend. I don't know her name, I'll put it here. The editing feels so smooth, and at times I didn't even notice it, and that's a big compliment coming from me because I'm not a big fan of flashy editing most of the time, so it makes it feel more natural and real, along with Eric Steelberg's cinematography. Again, it's not like the editing flashy, it's just kind of basic, but at the same time not basic, you know, because it's like the Before trilogy, kind of like that, how it just feels more realistic in the way that the film's shot, and I love that. Okay, let's talk about the real reason Juno is so great. When it comes to the greatest performances of all time, you normally hear about Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump, Liam Neeson in Schindler's List. All these performances that deserve to be talked about, but there is one I never hear anyone mention, and I never understood why. Ellen Page as Juno MacGuff gives one of the most genuine and perfect performances out there. I mean, come on, she's everything this character needed to be and more. Every line is delivered perfectly, every nuance and characteristic is absolutely flawless. I'm not even kidding, Ellen Page in Juno gives one of my favorite performances and what I consider to be one of the best performances ever. Maybe I love Juno more than anyone else on the planet. I highly doubt that, because for every film there's always that one person that just is a little bit too obsessed with it, and that's okay. But after 3 viewings, I have yet to find a flaw in Juno. I mean, I was really looking hard, especially that last time, and I know that isn't always the best thing. Here, let's look for problems with this movie, but there was not a single one. This is a film I believe everyone should see, especially if you're a teenager. It may be your worst nightmare, but it is such a special movie to me, and it has so many laugh out loud moments. I'm not even kidding, I laughed so hard at this movie every single time. From the quirky script to the utterly flawless casting and one of the best performances of all time with Ellen Page, Juno is an essential coming-of-age film that gets everything right. I love everything about this film, and it only climbs up on my favorites list. I'm gonna give Juno an A+. I have no real reason for reviewing this film. In October I'm gonna do what I did last year, where I review once a week a spooky-ish film. I still need to decide which ones those are. I have an idea. I might want to do three movies and 1 musical. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll do some special thing for Halloween. But this is just a movie I really wanted to talk about, and I know this video won't get that many views, so please comment, like, share it, do whatever you can to help, because normally when you randomly put up a review of a movie that came out in 2007, those don't get that many views. It's always fun to sit down and talk about one of your favorite films, especially as a teenager, talking about a cool teenager coming-of-age film. You know, I'm gonna make a list soon of my top something favorite coming-of-age films. I might schedule that to release in November because October will be busy with the scary reviews along with the trial of the Chicago 7, something like that. That movie is going to be great. If you've seen Juno, I really hope you have. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. What do you prefer, Juno or Superbad? I know a lot of people, basically everyone, will say Superbad. As I said, I don't think this video will do too well, so please help share it, comment, do whatever you can, and I will see you guys next time. Over and out.